This is my 1648 Jon Boat that's been converted into a fully functional bass boat. At this point, I'm far enough along in my build where I'm not going to be adding any major new changes to the boat, so I wanted to give a quick overview to show you guys what I did and kind of go over all the finer details. Starting at the front, the trailer's been completely redone. New tires, new bearings, the whole thing's been repainted, new tow jack, new tow hitch, new winch, new rollers, new LED lights, literally everything. So the trailer is in tip-top shape. Moving on to the boat, we have a Minn-Kota Terrova iPilot spot-lock trolling motor. I have this set up for remote use only, so there's no foot pedal. This allows me to use it in the back of the boat where I am most of the time, so it's been working out really, really well. I honestly haven't missed the foot pedal even a little bit. I am so happy that I went with the controller setup. Up at the front here, just some small things. This is the GPS unit for the trolling motor, and this is a light mount to put a light pole for navigation lights at night. Moving down, I added these fold down tie downs and then the hooks for the bimini. The front deck here has been coated with HydroTurf. It has been extremely nice having this up front. It keeps it very cool to walk on. I've had no issues with the turf. Any of the bubbles you see are just the rivets under the HydroTurf. There wasn't too much I could do about that. Moving on back here, we have our front bench, seat, and storage. This was built from the ground up. There was no bench seat here beforehand. So I have a cover plate, a top plate, a bunch of framing, and then on the inside of the hatch, I have a tote that has been affixed down to the floor that works as a dry box storage. On the opposite side, I have a built-in rod holder. The rods clip to the one side there and then slide under the deck. There's tubing that runs under the deck that allows the rods to slide in and out without the guides getting caught. I'll have links to all of the products and videos in the description if there's anything on this boat you'd like to check out yourself. Moving on to the cockpit area here, I installed a side console with a switch panel. Right now, I only have this wired up to do my interior lights and the bilge pump. For the interior lights, there's lights inside the front storage, the underseat storage, the back area, and under the console to illuminate the floor if you're fishing in the evening or early morning. The steering system is a C-Star steering system. This was all built from the ground up. It's a no feedback system, so your wheel doesn't react to the motor. It only turns when you make the movement. Works really, really well and really, really smooth with the Yamaha outboard. One small addition I added to the side console was a cup holder. I drilled it out, siliconed it in, and that's been a very nice addition and very helpful for small storage. Moving on, we have our fire extinguisher mounted to the top of the bench seat here. We have 3 brand new bass boat seats and a Yamaha control panel for the outboard controls. Additionally, I added a small little storage thing down here. I think it works really well and I'm very happy with it. Moving down further, we have our bimini top. I'll have some footage overlaid right now about how the bimini works, but it's really cool. It stands up, it has covers that come down the side. It's a really great help in the sun. For our back deck, this is built off the back bench going to the transom. There's support risers everywhere here, so this deck is completely walkable. We have a light pole mount here for rear navigation lights and a NOCO battery charger port to charge your batteries without having to run extension cords under the deck. We lift up our hatch lid here. This is where everything else has been built. We have our lithium accessory battery, our AGM cranking battery. These are tied together with the battery isolator, so the outboard can charge the cranking battery, which will then charge the lithium battery. There's an automatic 1100 bilge pump, the gas tank, and then wires and circuitry for the trolling motor down here. I also have a storage clip for the rear pole mount, so that's out of the way, but still easily accessible if needed. Coming to the rear of the boat, float pods were added to give extra flotation for the rear of the boat. This has worked absolutely phenomenally. It is truly a joy to be able to walk on the back deck without having to worry about it sinking down, or when we're accelerating or decelerating, I'm not worried about water splashing over the transom. These have worked very, very well. I have not had any of the downsides of float pods, such as poor turning or reversing. That hasn't been a problem at all. These were professionally installed by a welder. They were done to the correct angle coming off the transom, so they have been absolutely perfect. For the engine, we have a brand new Yamaha 2023 F25. It has worked really well. It's pushed this boat between 25 to 27 miles an hour, depending on gear and prop. I have really enjoyed it. It's fired up the first time, every time. Very reliable motor, would definitely buy again. This is a long shaft motor on a short shaft transom, so the way I alleviated that was adding 5-inch riser jack plates on the back here. They've worked really well, very solid, no issues with that whatsoever. For some extra bracing, I added a outboard bracing strap here across the top and some larger washers on the bottom. Everything honestly has just worked out so well. Just a few quick trailer additions on the back. I added some guide-ons, which have worked very well for loading and unloading the boat, and retractable transom straps. Two key things that I think make any boater's life that much easier. All right, so there's the 1648 Jon Boat to bass boat build. It took about a year's worth of time, all in with the brand new engine, the brand new trolley motor, the brand new Garmin EcoMap, the side console, everything. I'd say I put about $6,000 to $7,000 into the boat. Primarily, that's going to come from the engine and the trolling motor and the fish finder, but the seats and the steering console and all that, they did add up a little bit too. Honestly, you're not going to find this kind of setup for this price no matter where you go. So I'm really happy with the investment. It works really well. And now we'll see what comes of it. So now that I've showed you guys the boat, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some footage of how I used it out on the water.
Sure you don't want gloves? I brought you some.
Good job. Spot lock. And now we fish. Just a little bit more about these float pods. This is me on the very back of the boat. We've got both the batteries, full gas tank, the engine, and myself, who's a good amount of weight. Pretty much all the weight is on the back of the boat, and look how high we're floating still. I could walk all the way to the back edge here. All I can say is right off the bat, having all this extra storage has totally cleaned up the boat floor. I've got my trash can, tackle box, and some lures, push pole, and this whole deck is clear. The other thing I like is that I can actually sit in the seat and open this hatch to get things I need. And right now I just got some flotation, Garmin lid, and sweatshirt. All that's in there. Up front, still a little paranoid that I built my own boat, so I keep a whole tool set with me in there. Rope, shoes, extra batteries for the GoPro. We are 100% good to go out here.